Today, the ninth classes discuss the topic is commonly called as plan anatomy. You know that definitions of plan anatomy. Anatomy is nothing but study of internal structure. After dissection, you keep on the microscope what are the things which are present in the plan part. That part it can keenly observe and studied. That is commonly called as plan anatomy. The plan anatomy studies, which is that criteria essential, is commonly called as microscope. So it is also called study of anatomy with help of microscopic examinations. Today, which topic it must be classified in this class may commonly called as structure of a DICOT leaf. Example, mango. If you take a section of DICOT leaf in the mango, at the section you keep under the microscope, you should be observing what are the reveals which are present is commonly called as epidermis. Second region, mesophyll. Third region, vascular bundle. What is the commonly called as epidermis? Epidermis is the outermost layer. What are the main functions of epidermis? Epidermis which must be given as a protections. So that layer it must be held protect inner to the part. Based on the nature or occurring, the epidermis can be classified two types, namely upper epidermis and lower epidermis. This is the upper epidermis. This is the lower epidermis. Both the epidermis is a made up of parenchyma cells. It's a single layered parenchyma cells. Cells are compactly arranged without intercellular spaces. But here is upper epidermis, is a lower epidermis. Both the epidermis made up of parenchyma cells. Cells are compactly arranged without intercellular space. But both upper epidermis and lower epidermis, which can be covered by a thicky layer, is commonly called as cuticle. Cuticle is present both upper epidermis and lower epidermis, but cuticle is much thicker in upper epidermis than the lower epidermis. In addition, both upper epidermis and lower epidermis, it may be possess stomata. Stomata is more frequent in lower epidermis. This is called stomata. So stomata is more in lower epidermis compared to upper epidermis. That is the things it must be classified as epidermal layer. What is the main function? Production. It is a distinguished is upper epidermis and lower epidermis. Upper epidermis, thick cuticle. Lower epidermis, thin cuticle. Upper epidermis, lesser amount of stomata. Lower epidermis, frequent amount of stomata. Next, what is the meaning commonly called as mesophyll? Meso, that means middle. Phylum, that means commonly called as leaf. So what are definitions of mesophyll commonly called as?
The tissue which are present between upper epidermis and lower epidermis, that is commonly called as mesophyll. Based on the presence of this component, the mesophyll can be classified as two types, namely upper polycyte parenchyma, lower spongy parenchyma. That's why we say DICOT leaf is also called dorsiventral leaf. What is dorsiventral? The mesophyll is differentiated upper polycyte parenchyma, lower spongy parenchyma. So this is the commonly called as polycyte parenchyma. This is the spongy parenchyma. So differentiated parenchyma cells are occur between upper epidermis and lower epidermis. That is commonly called as dorsiventral leaves. Okay. How that polycyte parenchyma cell and spongy parenchyma cells are differentiated? However, they can be occur like this. So how to find like this? Polycyte parenchyma cells which must be occur upper epidermis. The parenchyma cells are compactly or closely arranged without intercellular space, which are elongated shapes. It's containing more amount of chloroplast perform the process of photosynthesis. So one sentence like this: polycyte parenchyma cells which must be occur epidermis. These are vertically elongated cylindrical cells. Cells are compactly arranged without intercellular space. It contains more amount of chloroplast perform the process of photosynthesis. How you have to differentiate spongy parenchyma? Spongy parenchyma cells are occur lower epidermis. The cells are circular, oval or irregular shapes. The cells are not compactly arranged. It's are arranging with a lot of intercellular space. That is commonly called as air space. These spongy parenchyma cells also containing chloroplast, but comparing the polycyte parenchyma, spongy parenchyma containing lesser amount of chloroplast. So what are the main functions of regarding spongy parenchyma is commonly called as? It's a help in gaseous exchange. Now come to one more that vascular bundle. What is the vascular bundle? Vascular tissue, it's formed as a bundle. What is the vascular tissue? Xylem and the phloem. Xylem and the phloem, which are integrated together to form as a bundle, is commonly called as vascular bundle. In general, vascular bundles is situated only in the veins of the leaves. That's why the veins form as a skeleton of the leaves. What is the nature of vascular bundle? Conjoint, collateral and closed. What is commonly called as conjoint? Xylem and the phloem are in the same radius. So this is the xylem. This is the phloem. So xylem and the phloem are in the same radius because phloem is located upper epidermis. Xylem is occur upper epidermis. Phloem is occur lower epidermis. But they can be arranging one above the manner. What are the called collateral? Xylem and phloem are in the same radius, but a phloem towards the periphery. If phloem occurs towards the peripheral region, it is commonly called as coleator. What is the closed? There is no cambial tissue between xylem and the phloem. If the cambial tissues are not occur between xylem and the phloem, that is commonly called as closed vascular bundle. Okay, I come to one. The xylem and the phloem, which is surrounded by a thin layer of parenchymatous cell, that is commonly called as bundle sheath, or also called vascular bundle, surrounded by a sheath of parenchymatous cell is commonly called as bundle sheath. In addition, in the structural view, xylem is upper epidermis, phloem is towards the lower epidermis. We are going to discuss about now structure of monocot leaf. Example, grass. You can take a cross sections of grass. When you keep on the microscope means what are the reveals they may be present is commonly called as, one is epidermis, second one mesophyll, third one vascular bundle. So what is the epidermis? Epidermis is commonly called as outermost layer. This is the epidermis. This is the outermost layer. What a main function is commonly called as production. For the structural view, the epidermis can be classified as two types. Upper epidermis, lower epidermis. In general, the main function is production. How it can be made? Both upper epidermis and lower epidermis, which are made up of parenchymatous cells. Cells are compactly arranged without intercellular space. But both upper epidermis and lower epidermis, it must be covered by a thick layer is commonly called as cuticle. The cuticle is made up of a special waxy substance is commonly called as cutin. But cuticle is much thicker in epidermis than lower epidermis. But both upper epidermis and lower epidermis interrupted by few stomata is there. These are commonly called as stomata. But the amount of stomata is higher in lower epidermis and compared to upper epidermis. So here thick cuticle, here thin cuticle is more amount of stomata, here lesser amount of stomata. What are differences are there comparing dicot leaf and monocot leaves? In upper epidermis, some of the places the epidermal cells are much larger. The larger epidermal cells are commonly called as bulliform cells. So bulliform cells are generally occur in leaves alone. That means monocot plants alone. But dicot leaves, there is no such a structural view. Actually, can I go like this? mesophyll. So meso is the middle, phylum it means leaves. So what are definitions of mesophyll mean? What are the components which are present in the upper epidermis and the lower epidermis? Or what are the things it will be occur between upper epidermis and the lower epidermis? That is commonly called as mesophyll tissue. In monocot is commonly called as, it is isobilateral leaves. What I call iso same. So here mesophyll is cannot differentiated like palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. Here the mesophyll is made up of only one type of parenchyma cells, either palisade parenchyma or spongy parenchyma. So that is the main phenomena. Mesophyll is not differentiated. Either palisade or spongy parenchyma, because the mesophyll is made up of only one type of parenchyma cells. So palisade means if occur both upper epidermis and lower epidermis. If it is instead of palisade, spongy is occur, it's occur both upper epidermis and lower. So here there can be present only one type of parenchyma cells. That is the features of mesophyll in monocot. Next, vascular bundles. What is vascular bundle? Xylem and phloem is a vascularized tissue that are generally occur close together that form as a bundle, that is commonly called as vascular bundle. Like dicot, monocot leaves also, what is the nature of vascular bundle is commonly called as conjoint, collateral and closed. What is conjoint? Xylem and phloem are in the same radius. What is collateral? Xylem and phloem are in the same radius, but phloem is curved towards the periphery. What is that closed? There is no cambial tissue between xylem and phloem. One more that. What do you mean commonly called as bundle sheath? Vascular bundle surrounded by a sheath of parenchyma cell is commonly called as bundle sheath. How you have to be differentiate from dicot leaf and monocot leaves? In monocot leaf, the number of vascular bundles is more. But among the vascular bundles, some of the vascular bundles is large in size. But in dicot leaf, they can be possessed only one vascular bundle. In addition, here also, xylem is occur upper epidermis, phloem is occur lower epidermis. Some of the air spaces it must be occur in the stomata, that is commonly called as respiratory cavity. So what definition mean come? The air spaces are occur near to the stomata or next to the stomata, that is commonly called as respiratory cavity, or also called substomatal cavity. So that is structures of dicot leaves. Then we have to discuss about what are the differences occur in dicot leaf and monocot leaves. First one, dicot leaf is commonly called as dorsiventral leaf. Monocot leaf is commonly called as isobilateral leaves. So what are the dorsiventral leaves? Dorsiventral. What are the dorsiventral? The mesophyll showing differentiated parenchyma cells. That means upper palisade parenchyma, lower spongy parenchyma. What are the isovalent leaves? The mesophyll is made up of only one type of cell, either palisade parenchyma or spongy parenchyma. Second thing, bulliform cells are absent. Bulliform cells are present. So what are they called bulliform cell? In monocot leaf, upper epidermis, some of the parenchyma cells are much larger in size, which is swollen cells. That is commonly called as bulliform cells. Bulliform cells are generally present monocot leaf, or it is generally absent in dicot leaves. Third one, number of vascular bundle. Is few. In dicot structural view, only one vascular bundle or one or two vascular bundles are there. But in monocot leaves, more vascular bundles are occur. These are the differences occur dicot leaf and monocot leaves. So today we must be discussing topic about like this: structure of dicot leaf, example mango; structure of monocot leaf, example grasses; and what are differences occur monocot leaf and dicot leaf. Thank you.